Forever is the word. This is yours truly, Bunny Wailer, foundation and still survivor of the wailing Wailers. Originally, Robert Nesta Marley, Winston Hubert McIntosh, Constantine Walker, Delano Stewart, Beverly Kelso, adopted member Cherry Smith, and yours truly, Bunny Wailer. Letting you know that big time you must stay tuned forever and ever reggae, because reggae, you know, is forever and will never go away. Big time. You hear? Big up. Of Jamaica's music.
Of Jamaica's music. And I am here with the legendary, the honorable Mr. Bunny Wailer.
Respect.
Welcome to Forever Reggae.
Give thanks every time.
I am holding back tears right now, simply because I grew up on your music.
Yep.
Today is history for me, just to be sitting down here with a legend in the industry. Oh my goodness. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm good, you know. I give thanks for the strength that is bestowed upon me, and to know that I'm still here representing this music, and to see the children as a legacy that I'm inheriting also of my peers and of my own, you know, biological, but as we all are sons and daughters and brothers and sisters under His Imperial Majesty, then I know that it's really a satisfying feeling to be here with the eye seated as a student of Bunny Wailer, being rasterized into knowing greater things about yourself that you would pass on to others to do for themselves the same as these things have done for you, coming from the Wailers and from the Rasta community and from the teachings and from the doctrine and from the culture and the customs and the practices that makes our lifestyle something that the world now is focused on in the admiration and not the persecution.
Yes.
You know, because we have been through that, and with that has brought honor, power, riches, might, and blessing for the humiliated. So we are not afraid or ashamed to be humiliated, because it brings with it the kind of a glory that only humiliation can bring. So, you know.
And I must tell you, last night I was at the show till the last drop.
Of course.
And oh my goodness. For viewers, you missed something. I mean, I have clippings that I'm going to show you, but you had to be there to feel it.
Yes, and I thought I think so.
Now tell me, what's the secret, you know, for
you know, things, all right, based on what we have been through, within the social existence of our being Rastafarians, it has not weakened us, but it has strengthened us and has brought out of us things that we may never would have known that were in us to bring out. And over the period of having to be always, you know, dealing with that kind of a challenging issue for survival, for respect, for those things that we know that are right and we stand for, and with all of that, it gives us the appetite to always be wanting to gather more, to pass on more, so that others will know more about what Rastafarians are about, and they themselves would have the choice also to accept Rasta for what it's worth, and also become Rastafarians, as we have seen happening in so many different other religious and music cultures of the world, where people have put aside theirs for reggae and this culture of Rastafari.
Now I want to go back a little bit. Tell me, when did you first realize that I can sing, I love music, and this is what I want to do?
Well, you know that I was growing up in a kind of an environment that was churchical. My father had his own church. I got uncles who had their churches, and the family was a kind of a very churchical family of different denominations of religion. Like we got the Church of God, and we got the Seventh-day Adventists, and we got the Watchtower, you know, and all of these kinds of people. So I was grown up in hearing the tambourines and the drums and the chanting and the revivalry and all of that kind of stuff from I was a baby. And that is something that was engrafted in me to the level that at a very tender age of, say, 4 years of age, I was able to play the kumina drums, you know, the churchical drums that really brought the spirits up for the church to have the vibrancy that those revival churches do have. And at the age of 4, I mastered playing that drum, the rattler drum, to make sure that that spirit comes in when I play the drum. And out of that, singing and all of that kind of stuff was so much around me that I didn't even know when it was dawned on me that, yay, I could sing. Other than that first slap on my backside that I wailed and still wailing. You know, so so that's how my whole transition of being an artist and knowing that I can and then wanted to, and then with the urge of my brother Nestor Marley, he really forced on me reasons to be an artist, as I was then being prepared to go to Howard University, where I had a brother leaving Camperdown at the sixth form to go to continue my studies. And he thought that I was good enough an artist to make it as an artist, because I was responsible for letting him into this business of music by, when we were in St. Anne, I would make bamboo guitars as a Kingstonian childhood and entertain the community. And when I left St. Anne, I left him with that kind of a vibration, and he took it to Kingston with him when he migrated with his mom to Kingston, you know, as my father and his mom were having an affair that turned out to be a daughter called Pearl, which we both share as sisters. So a lot of people might not know that the Wailers are not just only the Wailers as members being associated, but the Wailers are now bloodline, as Peter has also gotten my first sister, Shirley, pregnant, which is Andrew Tosh. So Andrew is my nephew, and all of Peter's sons and daughters calls me uncle, as well as Robert's children do.
Nice.
So my responsibilities, it's unavoidable.
Okay.
It's something that leaves me to be the father figure, the uncle figure of the family, which makes it something that I have to be on everyone's side.
Right.
I can't take sides.
That's right.
Everyone is coming to me with their different views and their aims and objectives, and want me to be part of getting them into this driver's seat, into the, you know, into the scheme of things, the musical scheme of things. So I can see where, for the future, as you would have seen on the stage last night, that I'm going to be taken up with the next generation, as they are going to be depending upon me to give them not only the music, but also the reasons that we had in making this music what it has become, that they can also be in the future doing the same.
Nice.
So I have to be cautious and careful and be sensitive about dealing with these children, as we are all one family to be maintained as one family.
Nice. And I love the
Big
fact that
time.
you brought your daughter on stage. That was really nice.
Yeah, you know,
And
because
she's such
she's a beautiful singer, you know, yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
so all of that is to be seen in the Wailers, that out of the Wailers comes our children. And the same applies to the music that comes out of the Wailers, the same comes out of our children. So I am very satisfied. It's only a pity that Brother Robert and Brother Peter are not here with us physically to be full-joying this glory that I am full-joying. But at the same time, their music is with us, their legacy is with us, their conviction and all of what they stood for in defense of the common people and the oppressed people will always be with us until we have conquered, until we have won the battle of good or evil.
And in conquering Jamaica 50, what led you to become a part of this whole organization?
Well, you see, the thing about it, I have such a great stake as a whaler and as Bunny Wailer, both as a group and as individual in this music. And I have been taking a beating like all other artists have been, and composers and authors, musicians, and therefore it is a priority of mine at this time to be involved in the harnessing of our music in a way to protect it and so that it can benefit those people who have made their contributions and the sacrifices that they have, you know, in as far as establishing this music, and to secure for them something in return, that this Music 50 is where Bunny Wailer is going full-time, full force, with every muscle in me, as I do have a stake that is very strong in it, and in protecting my stake in it, I'll be so protecting the stake of my peers.
Well, I mean,
in it,
and
of
this
course.
is so good because I know even right now today, Cedric Brooks of the Scatterlight, he had fallen very
Ill, yes.
And had there been an organization like this a couple years,
That would have been taken care of. Lloyd Nibs the other day, I almost watched him die. His last breath, I saw him taking his last breath. You know, the drummer of the scatter.
yes.
You know, and the Scatterlights are now scaled down to maybe two people, Lloyd Brivet and Lester Sterling, as original members. So the Scatterlights being part of what this Music 50 is also, because the Scatterlights also celebrates 50 years of their music, as well as the Wailers and the Studio One, and the industry of Jamaica since '62 was set up in a way that it has survived up until now. So therefore, we have a very serious duty and responsibility to ourselves first, and to all of the related cultures and countries and practice and customs that is also identified with this music. So right now, Music 50 is, as I say, a priority in defending this music, and it is as I see it, I have become a spearhead in this endeavor, this venture, this more, what we call it, sensitive and determined venture, because there are still those who want to keep it the way it is, as it suits them, because they benefit and they don't have to account to anyone. And as we go into this new order of over 50 years, the music going to this public domain, it only means that we are subject to lose even more if we don't move now in harnessing our product and our music and putting out and making brands and re-establishing brands and getting the music in formats of box sets, telling a story of how we built what we built so that it can be more authentic, and that it has it gives the people more choice in purchasing what is our music authentically than to be buying bootleg and pirate music that doesn't give any history or any information as far as how these music were created and the people who performed and were incorporated. So this is what Music 50 is about. It's about harnessing our great music in a manner that it can be re-established, redistributed, so as to make benefits come to the creators of these music.
and also repairing the foundation.
And also repairing the foundation, because you see that it's broken.
Yes.
And I would not complain because complaining would not correct it. What I would do is to encourage in those people who would be likely to be involved in breaking the covenant, to let them know that this covenant must not and should not and cannot be broken. Therefore, we must stop fooling ourselves and be seeking to get the greater part of this music in our children's minds and hearts and souls and bodies, so that they too can improvise on what is good and glorious in this music called reggae.